$100,000 out of the bank and hire a bunch of lawyers. So we bring in the best litigators in the country who all donate their time free of charge, so that when Giovanni wins his case, which we did win the case with Giovanni, we don't just win the case with Giovanni, but we set precedent for all of our kids and our grandkids. And so that's kind of a quick summary. But again, I think it's important as we start into this subject of why is this important? Because what I find is that people of faith tend to go, yeah, I know religious freedom is important because I need to be able to exercise my religious freedom. It's so much bigger than that. Our founders called this our first freedom because they understood if you lose this freedom, you will lose all of your freedoms. And all the time, I have people come up to me from other countries as I speak, and they say, look, I'm from, and then you name the country. I'm thinking of a guy right now, Peter Kalkas. He said, I'm from Czechoslovakia. And he said, look, I'm not religious like you are, but I think that what you're doing is the most important thing that anybody's doing in this country. He said, because I saw this happen in my country. They took down the religious symbols, and then within a month, we all lost our political freedoms. And he handed me a check for $5,000, and he said, I'm going to be supporting First Liberty from now on. And he's not even a person of faith. He just wants his freedom. And the best way I can describe why this is the one thing that a totalitarian regime can never allow are citizens who hold an allegiance to one higher than the government. So whenever that type of regime comes in, the first flashpoint is always religious freedom. And if you lose there, you'll lose everything. Your economic freedoms, your political freedoms, your free speech, you'll lose everything. And look, this might sound like a theory. It's not a theory. Look at what we just went through with COVID in the United States. Okay? What happens when mayors and governors and county commissioners get power that they've never had in their lifetime? What was the legal flashpoint in court? It was religious freedom. It was churches and synagogues being told they can't meet. You can go to Walmart, but it's not safe in a church. Well, and what happened? We won every case we had in the country under COVID for religious freedom. Every church, every synagogue we represented, we won. But the fascinating thing was, in every one of those communities, when we won, notice, the community didn't start with a lawsuit on behalf of the businesses, freeing them up, and then the church was allowed to follow in their freedom. Never. That happened nowhere. But everywhere we won on behalf of the church or synagogue, within 2 weeks, all the businesses were free. It's exactly what the founders were talking about. So that was a test case on whether we're going to lose our freedoms. And so this being so important, how are we doing in the United States? Well, I probably don't have to convince you. I mean, we're in a battle. The attacks are just crazy going on. And so I thought I can't show you 360 cases that we did last year. So I just show you a few to give you a feel. So let's look at like the schools and school boards and all these things going on there. One of our cases is a woman who, there was a battle going on in her school board. And, this has happened in a lot of places. And she realized there's no hope if we can't come together. And so we need to pray. And so she comes, it's her turn to address the subject of accountability, etc., that they were covering at their school board. And she says, I'm going to pray so we can come together. And they say, ma'am, you can't do that here. Excuse me? You can't pray here at the school board meeting. That's against the law. And so, now I love America. She turns around and said, do you hear that? Well, the crowd breaks into the Lord's Prayer. That's the way America is. They shut down the meeting, and then they asked the police to clear the room of all these people who were praying. So now some of you are going, oh, Kelly, that can't be true. So I've got a video. Here's the video of it now.
We have to work together to do this. So I would like to ask, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to pray for Suffolk Public Schools with all of you. If you'd like to take a moment, bow your heads, please. Anybody object? I apologize.
We can't do that.
Why can't we? I like to pray for our students in our school.
That's not in what you signed up to do, ma'am.
Well, it's in regards to all of this. It's a transparency, accountability. I'm praying that we do that.
Ma'am, no, ma'am. We ask that you get back onto your topic. No one
That is my
stopped.
topic, sir.
Well, then it's not permitted at this time.
To pray for our schools is not permitted.
That's correct.
Okay?
Yes.
So now, each of you hear this. If anybody would like to pray with me after the meeting outside, I'd invite you, because I think that that's the only way that we're going to come together is through God and our faith.
I believe that man should always pray. I mean, I love prayer, but this is not the place per the law. And we're going to ask Attorney Waller if you could speak to it.
Our Father, who art in heaven,
Officers, during recess, can you